Hey, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, it's Kendall with lawnbot here. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Um, we had a little idea, me and Eric, we just got moved into our new space with the COVID. I don't know if probably our folks in Grand Rapids know this, but Star Garden was where we were working out of. We love Star Garden. They helped us get started, and they actually just did away with their pods and desk memberships. So now we are actually subleasing some space here from Compass Insurance. Shout out Jim Blau and Mike Hoffman. We appreciate your hospitality, but more importantly, helping us get started and grow this software company. But today, I have a special treat for you. I thought, you know, people are busy, right? They have a lot going on. They don't always have time to schedule an hour-long demo. So here's what I thought I'd do is every Friday, I'm going to do a live demo. And chances are, as Cliff and Steve know, our account executives, no demo's the same when I'm giving it. So I thought just every Friday I do a quick demo, take you through the product, and also tell you about any new features we have coming up, because literally with every passing day, we are getting more and more features. So if you're a current lawnbot client, we have a dashboard that's being built right now. You might know that right now we have a temporary chat history, but the dashboard is probably a few weeks away from, we're going to start alpha and beta testing it with some of our current clients that are a little bit more early adopters and are okay with testing things out. So that we're super excited about that dashboard because it's going to bring everything together and really tie in all of our different products, but then also make it a central location where our companies can go in every day. They can see all their leads, all their sales, and then also deploy some of our different products we're developing right now too. So with that, I will just jump in and get started here. So I'll just explain it as though I'm a current, or I'm a lead looking for lawn service. So this is what I typically do with companies is, I show them that, hey, listen, everybody asks, hey, how does lawnbot get connected to my leads? And the main source that we connect it to your business is through the contact form. Typically, most lawn care companies, they have a form on their website and that says, fill this form out to get a free quote. And you fill the form out. This is a lot of businesses actually. You fill the form out and it says, thanks, somebody's going to get back to you within 24 hours. Well, that's great, but if you're like me, you don't like to wait for things. Like, I don't like waiting. And if I'm going to do it, I want to do it now, get it over with. So I have less chance of like forgetting it and then ultimately doing nothing. So that's how we connect it to your website. What you're looking at here is an example contact form. We can style this any way you want. We're actually doing one for Fit Turf right now where they're launching a new website and we're styling their contact form to match their current color schemes and buttons and everything. So we'll go in and style it for you, but we have found this to be best practice. So pretend I'm a customer, I'm Mrs. Jones, or in this case, test, and I'm going to enter an address. So we'll do 5920 Castlebrook Avenue Southeast, and that's in Kentwood, Michigan. You see we're using Google to geolocate the property. Really makes it easy on the end customer to only have to enter one field as opposed to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 12. You'd be surprised at what some companies, there's like 50 fields for a simple estimate. It's like it's a $400 service. So, so we try to make things easy, less friction, the better. 1122, I'll just enter a random phone number here. It's my address. We'll do another random digit right there. Click get my instant quote. Now the client's going to land here. This is actually my brother's bot here in Grand Rapids. He owns a Lawn Doctor franchise, and we have lawnbot installed into it. And it was actually the first business it was installed into because I owned it prior to Jordan. So as you can see, the client lands here instantly. They see a picture of their house right away. We want to set that hook. It's a really interactive process, and we want to keep them engaged. You're looking for a quote for your home located here, correct? So we actually confirm the address with the client, and you notice it's interactive. We did that for a reason. Sales in general, lawn care sales especially, are super interactive. It's asking probing questions. It's it's kind of a back and forth process. So that's exactly how we built lawnbot. Beth Berry says people love seeing their house. Absolutely, I would have to agree. Some people are still surprised that, like, when we pull it up at trade shows and stuff, like, oh my gosh, that's my house. It's like Google Maps has been around for a while now. It's amazing. People are still taken back by it. So I'm going to select fertilizer and weed control. And now this is where lawnbot kind of sets itself apart from all the other instant quote tools and, pulling Zillow. We used to use Zillow. We still do for some clients, but we realized that the bottleneck in this whole process is the measurements and getting an accurate measurement. So what happens, whether you're on desktop or mobile, this pops up, measure it pops up. The client simply locks the map. They see this little quick GIF right here to explain to them how to draw. Wrong and correct. We learned really quick and implemented that and to measure it. And now the client can begin drawing in their lawn, right? Who knows their property size better, or their lawn layout better than the homeowner? A lot of people like to ask, well, like, what about trees and stuff? Well, if I'm the homeowner, I've lived there for 5, 6, 7. I know what lawn is under the trees, or maybe it's not lawn under the trees and I don't color that part in, or maybe I just want the front and sides done. So that's where measure it is super exciting. And you see it there at the top left, 3249. That's the square footage of what's colored in right there. So we'll just color in this little spot. And let's just pretend like I want to do the front and the sides. So we'll save the map, and it's gonna prompt me. Hey John, thanks for checking in. Absolutely, we're trying to. We want people to be able to buy lawn service like instantly, like the moment they want to, but then also make it as accurate as possible for the companies, and then easy as possible for like the homeowners. So that's our mission. That's our goal. So it drives us, as we're building this product. So as you see, this pops up here. Oops, does your estimate look right? And the reason why this is popping up is because the computer vision sensed that something's up right here. We know how big that map is, how many pixels and whatnot. And it sensed that, the client didn't color in the whole lawn. So it prompts you and says, hey, are you sure this is all of the area that you want colored in? We will only service the areas that are colored in. So a lot of folks like to ask, well, what if they just do a dot? Or what if they, like, we make it very, very clear up front that we're only going to service the areas that are colored in. So as you can see, that pops up here. And I'm going to click at this point, submit estimate, because I just want the front and the sides done. And the beautiful thing about this is it gets saved. So that image that I just colored in is saved, and it's sent along with all of the chat info, whether it's a sale or a lead. So you get the measure image of what they colored in, you get the square footage, you get the services they were interested in, you get the pricing that was quoted to them, you get everything that they saw in the chat. We're working on some really cool stuff right now. Eric got me excited yesterday. He was talking about basically being able to, we can record the chats now, but we can't replay them. Like, our clients can't go in and watch the chat unfold, but that might be down the pipeline too. I don't like to speak too much to that without, because I know things take time, especially cool things like that. So at this point, we call this the fork in the road. Get your instant quote now or customize my program. So there's a reason we do this. People that just want to get to the meat and potatoes, they can click get my quote now, and it's going to give them the default program for whatever service category they clicked up here. So you see, we have service categories. So it will give the default program for that service category. Or if they need a little bit more hands-on approach, they've used 8 different lawn care companies and they want to feel like they're getting a curated experience, we have customized my quote. And this is where I think lawnbot, nobody else is doing this. We're actually asking probing questions, and those probing questions can affect price up or down, or what program of that service category is recommended in the checkout. So each service category can have probing questions. So you think about, we're doing a bot right now, or not a bot, but an add-on for a customer in Connecticut where we did COVID. So if they had specific COVID probing questions they need answered before they quoted out that service, when that client clicks COVID, when they reach this point in the flow, then we start asking them probing questions. So as you can see, these are our best practice probing questions. Have you been doing the lawn yourself or having another company do it? I do it myself. That's awesome. Glad to hear you're taking pride in the lawn, Mrs. Jones. What's your current happiness with the lawn? And the client can pick their current happiness. You can see these chats only take a couple minutes typically, but I'm like kind of going in depth and explaining everything. But it's really cool because we can actually use visuals. Like when I did telemarketing on the phone, and I'm like asking Mrs. Jones, "Hey, what does your lawn look like?" She's like, "Well, it looks like shit, right?" But like, how bad is it? Is it thick? Is it patchy? Is it thin? And depending on like how bad it is, what they select, we can recommend a different package in the checkout depending on their needs. So the client's actually getting a curated experience that's like going to fix their problems and not just put a band-aid on it. What's the biggest issue you have in the lawn, Mrs. Jones? Is it broadleaf weeds, stubborn weeds, grubs, crabgrass, disease, shade? And all my lawn care friends out there, we all know if it's disease or shade, those are landmine properties. We know that it's going to cost more money. You could even have a whole different program for people that just select disease and shade. Maybe it's like 50% higher. Then they'll never see your normal price sheet. They'll see your like special one, but they won't ever know the difference because we've built your bot to, go off based off of the probing question. So that's just kind of an idea of some things you can do. But so you can see there these buttons. Let's say broadleaf weeds. That's typically a pretty popular, biggest issue that folks have. And this is where we're going to bring all the data together. We're going to crunch the numbers and we're going to land in the checkout. Again, I'm showing you on desktop, but we did build this around mobile. So it looks very beautiful on mobile, very, very, if you've ever used Uber Eats or Grubhub or something like that, it feels very modern and very easy to understand. So the client lands here, checkout, as you can see. It has all of your payment options that you offer. I typically recommend two. That's kind of best practice of what we've seen. But so in this case, we have pay as you go and prepay and save $13. So the client can get started today for 46 bucks. We're going to charge them for the first one. That's like a reservation fee. It's to guarantee the sale. It's to audit the sale. It's to make sure they don't click buy now and then like go to your competitor and then get a lower price and sign up with them. We want to get some security, and people will pay. People are okay with paying 46 bucks to get on the schedule. I mean, we've almost sold over probably 800,000 or 900,000 in sales this year for our clients through lawnbot. We have all that data, and people are more than willing to put their credit card in for things, I promise you. What's really cool about this is we built this. I initially had this whole concept for my own business. So I built it. They say the best products you can to build for yourself. That's exactly what I did here with lawnbot, what we did. Eric took, what I was saying, and he put it into code, and now we have here what it is today. We call this the upsell section. Maybe they in the service categories, maybe they didn't ask about, fertilizer and weed control, or maybe they didn't ask about liquid aeration or seeding or mosquito, but we all know mosquitoes are out right now. And oh, by the way, we've built in the ability to do discounts and promos. So we can do half off the first application for that upsell. And then it's the normal price for that upsell is $54.25. So the client can see, hey, I'm getting a hell of a deal for the first spray, and the remaining apps are $54.25. So it's a great way to drive additional average customer value. And we had clients that used lawnbot last year that added this version 2 with the upsells and everything. And I would say more than 50% of their sales this year, people are adding the upsells. They're adding perimeter pest. They're adding mosquito. They're adding whatever upsell promotions they're running right now. So they might come in for lawn, but they'll leave with perimeter pest and mosquito. So that's awesome, right? I would love, if you can have one customer and 4 sales, that's awesome. Your average customer value is going to be way higher than if you're just selling them just lawn care. And one thing I really like about this is we can communicate some value. So it's the program name. These are all customizable. The descriptions, and then also we built this like for lawn care people. It's not as important in the South because you guys service year round, but in the North, As you know, we have snow and it's seasonal typically. So as we go through the season, we can actually program in skip after dates. So after July 1st, only sell 4 apps. After September 1st, only sell 3 apps. After November 1st, start selling 6 apps again because they're going to be selling programs for next year, that kind of logic. So that's kind of cool. And the client can just simply add these to their program, like add it to their cart, right? We like to call ourselves Shopify for the service industry because really there hasn't been a solution built to actually address the fact that, in the service industry, pest control, lawn care, there's not a beautiful way to buy services online. And now there is with lawnbot, pestbot, and some of our other products coming out here soon. So let's say prepay. I'm in the mood. Got that stimulus check. We're ready to buy some lawn care. So at this point, the client can enter their credit card number. It would charge the card, and then we would ask them service-based questions like, do you have a locked gate? Do you have pets and kids? And the cool thing about those is it's customized to your business. So in the onboard process, you go through an 11-step process. It's very quick, probably an hour or two. And you get to pick whatever service questions you want answered. Do you have an invisible fence? Do you have dogs? Do you have kids? Do you have a gate? Whatever it is. And that gets all saved in the sale or the lead email. And then we'll do that next week on the Real Green connection and eliminating manual data entry. That's a whole nother ball game. But that's the sale path. Now you might ask yourself, well, what if they don't want to sign up right now? What if they're not ready, right? Well, they can click I need to think about it. And just like with typical phone sales, right? Like a sale starts when somebody says no, right? I don't consider order taking where you just pick up the phone and say Visa, MasterCard, like which one are you putting it on today? That's not a sale. You're an order taker. A sale is when somebody says I need to think about it or no. And it's super exciting seeing the data roll in. 48% of people that hit the bot click on I need to think about it. So now we're starting to build process flows. And how can we get more lift by getting people to convert after clicking I need to think about it? Is it a $10 off coupon? Like what is it? So we're experimenting with some different things right now. But we've built in objections, rebuttals, and tie downs. So if you're old school lawn care, you know exactly what those are. If you're new into the sales world, they're crucial to moving the sale along. Asking somebody, have you seen enough to make a decision? You could see how that helped your lawn this year, correct? I mean, you could use those tie downs and closes in any industry, but in lawn care, we're always trying to build urgency on the phone. We always want to build urgency. The grubs are gonna be damaging your lawn here if you don't get grub control down right here, right now. Like, let's make the decision. Let's take time out of the equation and get it done right now. So that's what we built in. We built in rebuttals, tie downs, closes, and objections. So they can pick their objection. So let's say my objection's price. And we customize these objections to match your business. So we always like to, maybe your business has been in business for 30 years. Maybe you guys are family owned and operated. Maybe you use the best organic fertilizers known to man. We program in your rebuttals and then we throw in a tie down. You can see how the hands-on personal touch makes all the difference, right? And at that point, they can click, yes, let's do it. It's going to open up the checkout again. If they click, I still need to think about it, well, then it's going to give them the opportunity to let your team know like why they still need to think about it. Let's see, been using True Green, looking for quotes. Lots of shade. So the client enters that, or the prospect, the lead, boom, and that gets forwarded to your team. You guys get all of that information. Let's see if I got the email here. It says you have a new lead, test. There's all my information, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email, square footage, prepay price quoted, pay as you go amount, programs quoted, all of their answers throughout the chat. I mean, imagine with doing phone sales, when you're calling somebody that like just hit your website, you have no context before that phone call. Imagine getting this, that client hit your website, they went through lawnbot, they didn't happen to buy in this example, but you get this email right away, like you're like, wow, okay, well, they only want the front and sides done, the lawn's 3,200 square feet, they do it themselves, broadleaf weeds was their biggest problem. I can already think of like how I'm gonna field this phone call and what kind of avenues I need to go down to get this sale. And knowing they've been using True Green and they're looking for quotes and they have lots of shade, like that's all data and like bullets in your gun that you can use to shut this sale down. So that's just one of the cool things. And also, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live demo, when we release our new dashboard here in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, you're gonna have a beautiful dashboard you can log into, and it will have everything right there, all of your analytics, all of your graphs, all of your chats, whether it's a lead, whether it's a sale. We're thinking of this as being the hub for all of your sales. Right now, it's just basically a spreadsheet chat history when it's hard to navigate. But with this, you can actually go back. Who hit the bot today? Who have we sold today? Who have we not sold? And go through it. So with that, that's kind of all I have for the live demo today. Let's see. So if you bared with me through this whole demo, appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. If you have questions about lawnbot, feel free to reach out. We do have myself, we have Steve Page, we have Cliff Reedy, who are ready, willing, and able to take you through the product, answer any questions that you have. There's some special use cases. There was a guy today that Steve had a demo with that was a mulch company. They blow in mulch, like lots of mulch, and they're looking at adding online ordering to their business. This is a perfect use case for that. We can sell anything that goes based off of square footage or acre or linear foot. So with that in mind, feel free to reach out. We're here for you. Stay close to us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're starting to blow up Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, lawnbot.biz, lawnbot.biz on Instagram. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day, great Friday, and we'll see you next week.